Hey guys, it's Kevin and Frank from Cruising with Wheels. And today's a regular Tuesday video. What are we talking about, Frank?
Well, every company has a loyalty program out there. I know. Every day we're inundated with cashback, bonus points, and everything you can think of. Now, today we're going to talk about what cruisers think about all of this, and does it create a caste system while you're cruising on vacation on your favorite cruise ship?
So, it includes them?
Yes, it does.
Stick around! Like we said, we're talking about loyalty programs, and everywhere I go shopping, I have a little card and a little loyalty program.
It looks like we're loyal to everybody.
I know. Well, it's funny because I feel like even in everyday society, there's somewhat of a caste system. Do you know we get treated pretty much the same everywhere, but we do a lot more shopping at the hair supply store.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm a platinum member there, and I'm a platinum member at JCPenney's where we buy a lot of our cruise clothes, right?
They love us.
So,
yes, cruise clothes.
And I've noticed that when I'm there, they treat me just a little bit different than they treated that gold member that was behind me, or the red member, which was, you know, he's nobody.
I know. You shop everywhere with these little barcodes attached to your key ring, and I swear, all you do is you get hand and wrist strain every time you're swiping these cards at the checkout. They're everywhere. Now let's find out where all the cruise lines stand with their loyalty programs. Now we bring this up because inequality exists everywhere in society. Income inequality, gender inequality, race inequality, and more.
And I guess the big question that we have is, in establishing these loyalty programs, are the cruise lines doing a good thing by rewarding their good customers like us?
Right, we like rewards.
Or are they creating a caste system and division within the cruising community? And based on your point levels, or maybe even the cabin that you booked, is it a good thing to have these loyalty programs and recognition like gold, platinum, silver,
diamond,
Voyagers Club,
ambassador?
I mean, they have such wonderful names and they sound great.
I want to be the golden platinum ambassador.
But, you know, do the crew treat you differently? Do the passengers look down upon you because you're a new cruiser? Or are they enamored or enamored because you're Platinum Plus?
Right. Oh, I don't know. Let's check it out.
So let's first start out by saying that we are including all of the cruise lines in this. We're not calling out one cruise line or another, correct?
Right, not at all.
Don't take any offense at if we say something about NCL or we say something about Carnival, or it's just information and what you guys brought to us.
I didn't know half of these.
Right. So let's start out by telling them the different companies' names for their loyalty programs. Okay.
Who's at the top?
So the first one that comes to my mind is Carnival Cruise Line, and they're called the VIFP Club, right?
Oh. Okay.
VIFP. Do you know what VIFP
I do not know.
Well, it stands for Very Important
Fun
Person.
Okay.
I think that's what they stand for.
All right.
I should have looked that up. But it's something like that. It's something like that.
I would think that
Very important fun person.
is part of it.
Right, because they have the
be.
fun times.
Right, faster to the fun.
Right.
It's all about fun.
So the next one is the NCL.
Latitudes Rewards.
Latitudes Rewards.
We're familiar with that.
We're very familiar with that. We are platinum on NCL. So look at us throw around our status.
Name droppers.
Now in Royal Caribbean, it's called the Crown and Anchor
I did
Society.
not know that.
You should.
I
You're
have
part
points.
of it.
I know.
Yeah. Celebrity is the Captain's Club. That's a clever name,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, and Princess is the Captain's Circle.
Right. Was somebody copying someone there?
Oh, everyone's favorite.
Disney is Castaway
Yeah,
Club.
that's fun.
And MSC is the Voyagers Club.
We just got in on that deal because
And guess what, guys?
Yeah.
We are black. Now, black is the highest status. How did we get there? Considering we haven't ever taken an MSC
I
cruise,
know.
you need to find out by checking out the LinkedIn video above, which is the MSC Loyalty Match Program.
That's
Watch
right.
that video.
Absolutely.
The Costa.
Yeah, Costa Club program. I got points with them
I
too.
have points with them. And Holland America is the Mariner Society.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
Yeah.
I know.
Now, within each company's designated rewards program or tiered cruiser program, some people call it a tiered program, is different levels, and each company has their own
Right.
names for them. Now let's talk about Carnival first,
Okay.
because we do have,
Right, we
pulled out our little props.
Our old cards.
And Carnival does it a little bit differently than anybody else, right? At least it's in our sailings with Carnival. Carnival starts out with blue.
Oh,
Now, when you're
like basic nobody blue. Is that
yes,
us?
you're nobody.
We were basically nobody blue. Yeah.
Now, when you get a blue card, okay, so they're the only company that you can legitimately sit there and across the room, I could tell if you're a new cruiser or if it's your second cruise maybe,
Right.
or and we'll get to that, or if you're gold, diamond, platinum.
Right. Everyone's looking at everyone else's
Yeah.
cards.
And for me,
we were like, they're nobody, just like us.
so for me, I feel like that creates some kind of animosity within the cruise. I felt it.
Yeah, you can see
our
because
first cruise.
when everyone's card is actually showing the different colors with
Right.
our different status, you kind of get the, wow, look at what they got. I wonder what that color means.
Right.
Oh, they're blue like we are, and I know this is our first cruise. They're nobodies like us. So in everyone's mind, is that kind of starting the checklist of who's who and what's what?
So Carnival has blue, which is your first cruise. Red would be the next cruise you go on, and so many points.
We became like quasi somebody.
And then you go to gold, platinum, diamond, and I think they've added, since you did your research, I think they've added a level too. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they have. Now, NCL's program is Latitudes Rewards, like we said, and you've got levels of bronze, silver, gold, platinum,
Yeah.
platinum plus, and ambassador. But with NCL, they don't have a separate color card
Right.
or a different designed card
Right.
for your levels. However, you will have a different looking card
Oh.
if you're in the Haven.
Oh, okay. So that's
Yes.
the ship within a ship.
Right. It wasn't prevalent on our inaugural cruise.
Right, because we all had that inaugural bliss.
Because we had a special
Special
inaugural
card, yeah.
Bliss sailing card.
Yeah.
But on previous sailings that we've been on, they have had, I don't know, like a light green card, say, for everybody, and then a purple card for
okay.
Haven. It always was a different
I
card.
thought I did remember kind of like a
Yeah,
like
remember
minty green.
Kathy's? Yeah, like a mint green, and we were like a we were a yellow, I think.
Was it like a coral?
Like a coral,
It had a shell on
yeah,
it. If I
yeah.
remember, the card had an actual like seashell on it, and it was coral color.
Now, even though your cards are all the same on the ship, it does say underneath your name what status you are. So it's interesting because the staff might be able to treat you a little differently.
So when everyone's walking around with the same NCL Bliss inaugural cruise card, everybody's the same, except when you check in, ding, 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 whatever, they see what status you are. So now the crew knows.
So Royal Caribbean does gold, platinum, emerald, diamond, diamond plus.
It's always a plus in there.
I think a pinnacle, because they do like the Pinnacle Club.
Yes,
they have the Pinnacle Club.
It is.
And on Princess, it's gold,
I love it.
ruby, platinum, and elite. You didn't get any of the ones from MSC.
No, sadly.
So MSC, I mentioned, were black. Black is the highest level, but they have similar levels to like NCO, I think, except you start out as orange when it's your first cruise.
Oh,
and you don't have any status. And it's the same with NCL. NCL, you don't have any status until you finished your cruise.
Right, you got to finish the cruise. Got to be in it to win it.
Yes. So I know that we did a little bit of a survey.
Yes,
right?
we did a survey. We kind of put it out there. We wanted to know what all you cruisers out there thought about this. What did you think about the rewards programs that all the cruise lines had? How did you feel about, was it good, was it bad? Have you seen people being treated differently? Is it about the crew being treating passengers differently? Is it passengers treating other passengers differently? So we kind of put it all out there. And what did we find?
Well, about 60% of the people said...
About 100 comments.
Right. So 60% of the people said that most of the loyalty programs are okay as long as the guests are all treated the same, regardless of the status that they are.
Right.
And we kind of have that same feeling.
Absolutely.
And to be honest, we've cruised with many different lines, and you know, we appreciate that since we're longtime NCL cruisers, we get a few extra perks.
Ooh, nobody appreciates it more than we do.
Right.
Keep those perks coming.
So we appreciate everybody that answered to our survey.
But I would feel bad, you would feel bad if we were treated differently than someone who was a first cruiser.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, I think that first-time cruisers should be elevated and treated even better because we enjoy sharing the cruise experience with people, and we want to see more people cruising.
And isn't it all about the cruise lines wanting repeat customers?
Yes.
So I would think that, boy, first-time cruisers should really be treated uber super well because you want them to book again.
Yeah.
Now, the second thing, comments we had several of, 10% of our commenters talked about these ships within a ship, which is NCL's Haven, the Yacht Club, which is MSC, and about 10% of them all said the same thing. They said, we don't kind of include that in this because you actually pay more money to be part of that experience, and you should have all the better perks and really be treated differently and high on the hog because, yeah, you paid for it. I totally agree.
I totally agree too, except I think that crew members that work in the Haven should still treat the ordinary guests.
Oh, sure, the non-Haven people.
The same way every crew member should treat you outstanding, no matter what level you are or where you're staying.
But again, the consensus was, you paid for it, you dished out the money, somebody better be kissing your behind. Absolutely. I agree with that.
I agree.
And the next part
I just wouldn't pay the money.
Right, well, we wouldn't. But the next part of it is that people commented. 35% of the people who commented said that it wasn't the crew they witnessed treating passengers differently. It was other passengers who they saw being, I guess, a little bit snobbish.
And shame on them.
Yeah, and creating kind of the have and have-nots and really being name droppers of I'm diamond or I'm platinum, you know, and you're not, and, you know, whatever. The snobby kind. It pretty much was, they kind of called out the passengers on that one. Yeah, not the crew. Yeah, that's interesting. Little name droppers. and then we had the usual.
Oh, the 5% that didn't care, wasn't sure, or didn't know.
I don't know. I didn't see it. I was too busy eating. I was at the buffet again. I know nothing about nothing. So there you have it.
Why don't we talk about some of the comments?
Yeah, some of the comments, and then we're going to read you some really important points that was brought up by some special people. So where do we start?
Well, someone said that benefits should be transferable from line to line.
Right, because who owns what?
If the company owns multiple lines.
Right, because that's the deal.
Carnival owns a lot of lines. I agree with him or her a little bit, with respect to that. But I do also understand that each company is its own entity.
Right. So
the parent company, say, is Carnival, and Carnival owns like Holland America, and I don't know, they own Silver Seas, Disney Cruise Lines is in there. Princess.
Yeah, right. Just like NCL owns Regent, and was it Ocean something?
Oceana.
Something, yeah.
And Celebrity is owned by Royal Caribbean Corporation. They have a partnership with them. And oddly enough, Royal Caribbean recognizes, it's one of the companies, I can't remember which, but I think Celebrity recognizes your Royal Caribbean status.
Oh, that's nice. And that's what she is talking about.
But they're really the only ones that we know that do that. With the exception of MSC, which we mentioned earlier, and they'll match anybody's.
They want you.
Yeah, they really want you.
Right. And again, some other comments were that it's, we talked about the name droppers, that it's usually the guests, it's the passengers that love to throw around the status of who they are in conversations. You know when like you meet somebody, and usually in everyday life, it always goes into, what do you do for a living? Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. So what do you do? Oh, I'm Frank. Oh, so what do you do?
I hate that question.
I know. Well, on a cruise ship, it's not what do you do.
Well, sometimes it is.
It's so what is your status?
Yeah.
Well, I'm diamond. I'm platinum. I'm gold.
What kind of deal did you get on the cruise?
Right. It's all about, it's like they want to validate that they got a better deal and maybe they're more important. It's kind of wacky. But we had a really good point made from a cruiser, Jimmy Muller. And we're going to read Jimmy's comment, which I thought was really excellent. So, what does Jimmy say?
Well, Jimmy says, ultimately, it's how one human treats another. I agree with Tim Stowe when he said, money, cash tipping, goes a long way. We travel with Tim and his wife, and we are always treated like royalty. I have never been in the Haven, but have been treated as though I was.
Awesome.
My strategy is to introduce yourself to those you will see frequently, such as bartenders, servers, room stewards, casino hosts, etc. And when given the opportunity, a few dollars helps. Never hurts to grease a few palms. When I run into a supervisor, I give in a good word for the employees by name. It gets back to them every time. Never tip a supervisor. That's for the servers, etc. The result, greetings by name, faster drink service, faster and better seating in restaurants, cheeses, chocolate-covered strawberries, champagne or wine left in the room, more towel animals, extra ice, coffee in the room. I could go on and on. I also decorate my room a little and gift the decorations to the stewards for their rooms.
Oh, nice.
Little gestures with huge returns.
Right. Basic human decency.
And I kind of agree.
Yeah, and a good investment in a good cruise.
And I encourage everyone to, at the very least, make an effort to know these people's names.
Right.
Call them by their names or ask them what they like to be called. And please, please, please fill out the vacation hero cards. Reach out to the supervisors. Tell them if you're having a wonderful time, because most of the time they hear complaints.
Right, I know. And it's always, it's so easy to complain than it is apparently to say someone is nice. And we end our cruise with a stack of hero cards, or whatever your cruise line calls it, filling them out, and we submit them because they tell us they do get rated on that.
So the next kind of comment stream that we had going was that not all Haven guests are snobs. And we have experienced that personally.
Yeah, they're not. And
They're
no
really
one ever
not.
said they were.
No.
I mean, you might find a couple here and there, but you're going to find snobs everywhere.
Now, when we were on the Untitled Jade with Dave and Darlene, we met some very nice people that were staying in the Garden Villa suite.
Yes.
And we spent a lot of time with them, and a lot of time up there. It was Kathy,
Bonnie and Rich,
Jerry, and
daughter Carrie, right?
And they were wonderful.
Oh my gosh! All they wanted to do was share what they had.
Yes.
Because they didn't they get the villa and an upgrade.
They got it on an upgrade, and
and they met and it was Jerry, and Carrie
that they met
because they got the cabin that they relinquished to get the upgrade.
Yes.
And then we met them because it was all, oh wow, there's Frank and Kevin from Cruising with Wheels, and of course we brought Dave and Darlene with us, and
we just had a wonderful time.
We had a wonderful time with them. They had a little party. They were really gracious and wonderful. Total opposite of what you would think. People sometimes talk about Haven snobbery. Not at all. Wonderful people, and it was a great experience.
Well, and even on the Bliss, we met Henrique.
Oh, right, Henrique and Wayne. They were in an
they were in Haven, and they were the sweetest guys you would ever want to meet.
Yeah. So, can't generalize or categorize everybody and paint with a broad brush. Don't do it. And but people sometimes have issues. And let's read what we've got here.
So this came from Tim Stowe. It's funny.
Yeah.
He's friends with Jim Muller, and they just happened to pull the comment. And he writes, "Only run into issues from other passengers, not crew. Like last time we stayed in the Haven, we were called trash and riffraff." And he quotes that, trash and riffraff, by other Haven guests after learning we were there on upgrade bid instead of paying full fare. Actually been treated better than Haven guests sometimes, being in the hospitality industry. I usually tip cash for every round of drinks, even with the UBP, and that stands for Ultimate Beverage Package. He must admit it is amusing to see, quote, super Haven guests, end quote.
Superior.
Oh, sorry. Well, same thing. Superior Haven guests. Throw a fit when bartenders or waitstaff at Spice H2O help us before them. LOL. I truly believe it has more to do with money and friendliness towards crew than loyalty status, but that's just his opinion.
Right. It's just a lot of people would say, you get what you give.
That's right.
So there you go. What about traveling with friends? Here's a comment that came up, and we kind of experienced that too.
Yeah, there was,
traveling with friends that have different statuses, because
it can be difficult.
Yeah, we traveled with Dave and Darlene last fall on the Jade, and we were platinum, and they were not.
And they weren't even bronze. It was their first time on NCL. And they had a wonderful time, and they benefited from our largesse of being platinum.
Right.
But
when we boarded, because we VIP boarded and they came along with us, we were allowed to eat in Cagney's, which is because the Jade doesn't have a Haven. They use Cagney's and they use Maderno, correct?
Different times of the day.
Different times of the day for their Haven style restaurant. So they said, you're VIPs, you're going to eat at Haven, go to lunch. And we said, well, geez, we just got on board. We're not going to ditch Dave and Darlene. We're traveling together.
So they benefited.
And so, yeah, they were very nice.
Just the first day.
Yeah, our concierge says, well, you know what? Yeah, they can join you for your first day lunch, embarkation lunch at Cadney's. Mm-hmm. So again, yes, they benefited.
But it can be challenging because not all cruise lines will extend all the guests the same perks unless they're sailing in the same cabin.
Right.
So obviously if you're sailing in the same cabin, you're good to go. So if he was bronze and I'm platinum, he would get the platinum status while we're on the ship. So we'll talk about more though with traveling with friends in our next video.
Right.
So I don't want to give that all away.
Right, 'cause that's coming up. The next comment we had that I want to talk about, because it also brings up an excellent point, is really that 99.9% of the crew are usually friendly and courteous.
Yeah, I never had a problem.
And I really think that relates to country of origin and upbringing. Has a lot to do with that.
You think so?
I think so. And Karen Sims Carter made a comment and an excellent point.
She writes, I love loyalty programs and the perks you earn as a loyal cruiser. I don't believe that anyone's status should make them better than anyone else or that they should be snobbish and rude. However, if the passenger wants to think themselves better than the rest of the passengers, then that's on them. But the crew should be welcoming and courteous to all passengers due to them patronizing the cruise line. The cruise lines should continue with their loyalty programs, but they should go hand in hand with training the staff and what the difference between common courtesy and loyalty status perks are. This goes for cabin preferences as well, be it interior, balcony, suites, or haven areas. Money doesn't equal class.
Oh, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. But again, an excellent point that it's all about training. Mm-hmm. Training, equality, and training.
It's a good point, Karen.
It is. And then there were comments that mostly people said they never had any issues being treated differently based on the cabin that they booked. So that's good to know, whether it's interior or balcony or ocean view or a suite, they were always treated the same by the crew.
And a lot of people said that it's nice to earn benefits for repeat sailings.
Yeah, everyone wants that.
Everybody wants that.
Send more chocolate-covered strawberries, more cookies and wine and pedophores.
No, they don't got to send me all that stuff. Just give me a free dinner. I'm good with that. And don't have a broken ice cream machine.
I know. Oh, let's not get into that. There were other comments that said that don't like the Haven or the Yacht Club concepts. Mm-hmm. And that, they said, they feel that's the cruise line creating a them versus us feeling on board of a la Titanic, the upper class versus third class steerage. And they kind of put it on the cruise line. You're creating the caste system.
And we felt that. I felt it on the Bliss, but from the crew of the Haven, certain crew of the Haven.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I don't feel that.
I kind of didn't feel that either. But let's read another issue from Renee Moore. So let's see what Renee said. She says, we have seen both the good and the bad side of rewards. The perks are nice, but when I did a New England cruise on a smaller ship, there were clear divides.
Really?
I happened to also use a mobility device, and we were at the check-in, and it was for both higher class of rewards and disabled guests. I was just about knocked out of my wheelchair by a person in a suite trying to shove past, saying because they were a suite member, they could get to go ahead. Also found for seating, we were clumped together, and most of the time they took suites before disabled, even if we were there twice as long. Why have them in the same line if they're not going to take people in order.
Yeah,
Well, that's a good point.
I think I know what cruise line that is,
Yeah.
and they've addressed it.
Well, that's good to know.
But I'm not going to call out what cruise line it is, and please don't, Renee. I don't want any backlash. But I'm pretty sure that on most of the ports they've corrected that issue with this particular cruise line.
All right.
Because it was an issue with us once.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like, oh, let's all get together, but once we're together, oh, sorry, you're dirt. What's the point? Again, another comment was, which we kind of said before, is you get what you give, and good manners given gets good manners received.
Good manners count.
It does, and a good, excellent point from Stephanie Butler, who says, I've only been on one cruise with Carnival, and in my observation, it's interesting to see people start out their comments with, I'm platinum. I wondered if us being flagged as first-time cruisers would get less service, and I intentionally watched how our blue cards were received by staff. I can honestly say, if there is a situation, it's in the minds of the passengers, not in the treatment from the cruise line, aside from perks. But people who confuse loyalty sometimes confuse it with entitlement.
It's true.
I know.
I know when we were on Carnival, I didn't notice any
Yeah, I didn't either.
difference.
Yeah, I really didn't.
With how higher level people were treated.
Yeah. So again, and the last thing was that we only had one commenter out of everybody that said they have seen it.
Yeah.
They have seen people being treated differently based on status. Didn't elaborate, but again, that was our survey and receipt of about 100 comments, and we broke it down for all of you.
Well, you didn't tell them what one cruiser said too.
Wow,
Somebody
what did they
said,
say?
cruising is the best!
Oh, yes. Yes, cruising is the best. And a lot, as we talked about before, crew members that come from countries like the Philippines, Indonesia, where the countries, there are definite caste systems.
Yes.
But you know what they say about the good old US of A?
What?
Caste systems here as well.
Yeah, I think there is.
Income inequality, I should say. The haves and have-nots. It's everywhere.
It really is.
Yes. But we would like to think that once you get on board a cruise ship,
I think pretty much
everybody's the
equal.
same.
You know what it is? Everybody wants some booze and everybody wants some food.
Do you know what it's like when you see people get on board? Everybody has that glassy-eyed look, like they're a kid in a candy store on a cruise ship for the first time. I remember it, 2001.
But we still, I think we still have that.
I think we do, because we try to get on different ships.
Yes.
And because they're different, it's like, the wonders. It's like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Do you remember the first time we got back on the Gem after the renovation?
Yeah.
And that was a repeat cruise.
It was a repeat cruise, but it had been a little updated.
Yeah, it was gorgeous, and we both were,
the Gem. So, yeah. I think it's not just the ship, but it's the experience. And once you get back on, you kind of remember all of that.
I'd like everybody to comment what they think.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a caste system in place?
And if you think that it is, who creates it?
Right. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
Right.
Is it a good or bad thing that some cruise lines use different cards to delineate your status? Is it a bad thing that they use a different color card if you're in a suite?
Mm-hmm. Right. And why do they feel the need to do that?
Well, I think that with the suite it makes sense. If you're in the Haven,
oh well, that
and
I
you have
understand.
a different. You're in the Haven, and I'm not.
Yeah.
And they can look at it right away and know that you don't belong there.
Right. Now that I understand.
So
As
I get
we
that.
said before, I understand Voyager or the Yacht Club or the Haven. Those are totally different, and I think should be carded different.
But I think it would do Carnival, and I can't think of the other line that does different color cards. I think it would do them a good service to just do away with it.
Yeah.
They'd have to order less cards, right?
Right. Nobody had to order different colors or whatever.
And then nobody would know.
One card, and status could be printed on the card. Anyways, but that's what we wanted to talk about today. So send your feedback, keep your hate mail. We don't want it, and move on.
Below.
Yeah.
Comment below. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat,
And Instagram.
and we want you to subscribe.
That's right. If you're watching our videos and you're not a regular subscriber, hit that red subscribe button and become a regular, and click on that little bell and you'll get notified of all our new videos that post every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Do you know what else they could do?
What?
If they're a new subscriber, we have over 300 some videos.
Start binge watching.
Yeah, we've got vlogs, we've got food videos, we've got tip videos, packing videos,
Ship tours.
How
Cabin.
could I forget ship tours?
I know, and cabin tours. My special tales from the high seas.
And Frank pushes back.
Kevin's cruise news.
Frank's cooking corner.
Ah!
I mean, we are just a plethora.
Oh, there's so many spin-offs to Cruising with Wheels.
And you know what? If you're just familiarizing yourself with us, we have a special playlist, Meet Kevin and Frank.
Oh, yes.
I'll link that above.
That's right. People wanted to know, who are you two? And
Yes.
so we put together 2 videos to tell you all about us.
So, sit back, relax, watch some of our videos, and until next time, we want to remind you to
Travel safe.
and cruise often.